Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 here on our 2021 Lexus NX 300. Now this is going to be an amazing way of getting your lightweight bikes to the trailhead with you. With the 40-pound capacity, the Sherpa isn't going to be the heaviest capacity that you might see out there, but it is going to do an excellent job for your smaller and medium style bikes, and it's going to look good doing it. Right here we do have our gray model today. However, it does come in a host of different colors. If you are looking to match your style, it does come in black and pearl as well. So according to whatever vehicle color you might have, can be a great way to start accessorizing. However, it doesn't just stop there by looking good. It is going to do a great job of getting our bikes to the trailhead. As you can see, we are having a wheel mount on here. So not only with that 40-pound capacity, we're not going to have any trouble at all getting our carbon frame bikes to the trailhead with us. As you can see today, not having any frame contact definitely allows us to carry these guys up on here. Now another time too, a great advantage of this being a tire hold format, we're not going to have any issues with any kind of women's bikes or step-through bikes or kiddos bikes, as we're not having to worry about frame contact. So that's one of the big advantages of having this tire hold. It starts eliminating a lot of those headaches that you might have. Taking a look at the platform itself, yes, we already covered, it does look very good. Got those nice little orange copper accents throughout it. And of course, this ratcheting arm system works extremely well. To release it, you saw me pressing that lever. I can drop it down. It won't be going anywhere once we have it nice and secured on our tire. Exposing a little bit of that copper too. But looking at the platform itself, I do like this cradle system here. Now, it's not the widest base here. So if you had any kind of very, very large bikes, I might be a little hesitant to actually go with the Sherpa. However, most of our standard guys are going to have no trouble. And if we are just a little bit long here, we're not going to have any trouble with our bikes kind of hanging off on this back cradle, as we do have this really nice front cradle that does a great job of holding on that back on that front tire. That way we won't worry about it rolling off or going anywhere. On the inside here too, you'll notice we have a locking core. We do have an included bike cable that can go through both of our bikes, plug in right there in the end. I do like where that's located. It's not all the way back on the inside there, right there on that front platform for myself. Makes it very easy to utilize. Now, one of the great features of the Sherpa as well, though, we still get full access to the back of our vehicle. Now, a lot of times with some of those, kind of more low-end carriers, you have to remove the bikes all the time. With this guy, and the help of this handy-dandy lever right here, you can just push him in, or pull him, I should say, and allow the mast to drop down. Now, keep in mind, if you had two 40-pound bikes up on here, it can be a little weight to consider. But now, I can come right here to my Lexus, and it looks like we've gone ahead and locked it today, but we definitely are able to open that up, so that hatch will swing open. You still get plenty of room to actually get in there, get any coolers, bike helmets, anything you might need. Fortunately, can't show you right now, but it does swing away with no contact. The only thing that I'd be careful about, if you had insanely large handlebars, ours are pretty standard size today. Don't think we're going to have any issues with them at all, though. But let's go ahead and bring this guy back up in this position. Doesn't take too much time, and there's no pins or clips that you have to worry about. That lever goes ahead and locks itself right back in. Removes a lot of that headache of having to manipulate our rack. Well, another very important dimension to keep in mind, though, is our clearance in this position. As those front wheels go up, the back will go down. And from the ground to the bottom of our carrier here is putting this at 19.5 inches to the bottom of our platform there. I don't think we're going to have any issues at all, but as we said, let's just be conscious of it. Very steep terrain, maybe doing a little off-roading in your Lexus. Just be careful, as you do have just a little clearance to keep in mind. Well, to take our bike off isn't going to take too much time at all, so let's go ahead and see how we can do that. Our strips here, very easily released by a lever. Just press that in, allows us to take it off all the way. On the inside too, you do have a nice little plastic matting. Not going to be anything too thick, but it is just going to do a great job of preventing any kind of friction buildup on our rims as we have it sitting on our platform. That does bring us to our last point of contact, though. And if you did have a heavier bike, it can be nice to get that arm out of the way so you can get that half step in closer. Want to make sure we do have a good handle on our bike. Don't want that tilting into our vehicle or ourselves, causing any kind of damage. And to release, all we have to do, press in on that lever. Nice little ergonomic design there. And then we can push that off to the side, grab our bike, and we are ready, good to go. So you can imagine too, mounting it just as easy. The only thing I would say that could be a little bit of a hindrance is this little strip. However, as you can see, it does a pretty good job of hanging there. Easy to loop a tire underneath and get it going. So nice that we can actually do that pretty quick. And of course, as you can see, collapsing this down Takes no time at all. No pins or clips that I really have to worry about. All I have to do is start manipulating my rack and I'm good to go. Now with any hitch mounted accessory, we are going to be adding a little bit of length to our vehicle. Now our Lexus isn't going to be too long today. However, let's go ahead and see exactly what we're working with. From the rear of our bumper to the very end is putting us right at, make sure I can get that guy set, 32.5 inches from the rear of our bumper. Definitely not going to be the most length I've ever seen out of a carrier. Still pretty decent for a 2-bike platform though, so it's definitely something to consider. However, we do have a way of quickly shortening it down. Remember that lever we used to tilt away? Well, it's going to come right back into play. All we have to do, pull that guy once more, we can walk this up into its folded position. You can see in there, going to have little to no play in this position. That's something you love to see, especially when our carriers start getting close to our vehicle. And just to give us an idea, looks like our arms are going to be, let's see here if I can get it straight, about 4 inches from the back of our vehicle there. And one good thing I like to note too, look how much resistance this has. It's taking me to actually hammer it to move it. So especially if we're just jostling around, this arm's going nowhere. We aren't going to be worried about this making any kind of contact with the back of our vehicle. Well, in this position too, we might have to worry about just a little bit of clearance. And the end here is going to be our anti-rattle device, putting us right at 11 inches there to the end. And let's go ahead and see how much length we actually shaved down by putting that in its standing position to the end of our anti-rattle, putting us right at 15.25 inches there to the very end. So already about half of that length getting shortened down. Now, not going to have any issue getting this in the garage, or at least a lot more maneuverability for those tight parking places wherever we might be. Well, talking about that anti-rattle device, I think that's one of the big shining features of this guy. You can see it's right here on the end. Now, a lot of times with these guys, you get a threaded anti-rattle bolt that goes in between your receiver and your shank, and that does do a good job. However, we're having to be underneath here. We need a ratchet or a socket set to actually tighten that down, or a wrench, some kind of other tool. With this guy, I can simply come right up, start hand tightening this. It's going to tighten a cam on the inside of my shank to my hitch. And as you can see, as I shake this guy, it's all in line with one system. You can see that's going to make a nice smooth ride for ourselves, our bikes, especially our bike rack. One cool thing about it too, if you were to take this on a very long ride and you really want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere, it does have a little insert for an Allen wrench. You can go ahead, give that guy just a few more tightens. It can really help on those long road trips. Talking about our shank though, we do have a 2-inch shank here today for our 2-inch hitch. On the inside, we just have a little alignment pin to actually set up. Not doing too much other than holding us there, getting us aligned in a last case resort. But on the end too, you will see we do have a nice little locking core that is going to be key to like to our platform locking core that we have to secure our bikes to our rack. So therefore, our bikes are secured to our rack and our rack is secured to our vehicle. That way, we aren't going to be worried about it when we leave it unattended. One awesome little feature about that lever too, guys, is if you want, you could have one hand on your bike, come right up, push on that, and it can simply, quickly release like so. Great little feature. That way you're not having to fight it. Not going to need 2 hands to complete all those maneuvers. Well, I think the Sherpa does an excellent job. Of course, it does it looking pretty good too. Keep in mind though, that 40-pound capacity, if you're looking for something a little bit more crazy, but you like the look of this, if you need like that 60-pound capacity limit, I might recommend the Kuat NV 2.0. Pretty much similar build here. However, going to be great for those heavier bikes. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 here on our 2021 Lexus NX 300. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. So we can see here how the bike rack moves with our truck.